Hey there, how are you? I am KV and I am here to talk some astrology energy with you. Um, I was not here 2 weeks ago, in case you noticed. I had all full intentions to do it, but it almost felt like the lesson with the energies that has been happening for us is a lot of things are with so much of this like going within and doing what you want to do kind of energy. So there's actually something that's kind of pulling us back from caring too much about what anybody else expects of us or wants of us. And it's almost like we're being stopped in a lot of ways from fulfilling our things that we say we were going to do, almost for the whole point of showing you that in the long run it doesn't really matter. And that like in this moment right now you can get so worked up. I think this kind of goes along the lines with a lot of people who are so stressed because one of the things is that time is so speeding up and you're going to be like, I can't keep up, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough time. So I think that's like a really big message that's coming out of our voices. I don't have time for all this, I can't keep up. And then, even like you can hear the tone of that. It's very stressed and it's very uncomfortable and it's very not in the now, and it's very much about like freaking out about your future because you're saying you can't handle what's going on right now. So it's just like this, it's almost like a nuclear bomb when you're saying these kind of things, because it's like boom, like I'm freaking out, I don't have time, I have all these things, I da da da, I have kids, I can't do the da da da, I don't have da 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 da, so there's been a really big wound up tight energy in people where they have been unable to really like get a grip on life, get a grip on trusting life, get a grip on staying positive and happy, as this wave is just throwing them around. But people have gotten so disconnected from their heart energy because of this mental stuff that's saying you need to be a good girl, you need to show up on time, you need to do whatever and whatever and whatever, this person's counting on you, that person needs you, so all these demands, and they're all things that are outside of us. So there's been a lot of shortchanging ourselves in regard to taking care of ourselves, doing the nurturing we need, shutting everybody else out, so that you can just really kind of focus on you and what you want and what you want to do and how you want to spend your time. And for me, what happened with the videos, did I do I think I did the written ones though. I did do the written ones. But the video, like I was so stoked to do it because I had so much to talk about, and then it's just like things kept tripping me up, like, and then things like, and then no electricity, or things happening, and that would just kept stopping me, and it was finally, and then that's what it was. I was going like, oh, but they're counting on me, but they need me, but I have to do this, I have to do it by the time the new moon is at this time, I have to be there, I have to do that, I have to da da da. And it just kept coming over me, this like, do you? Do you? Does it really matter? You're putting all this importance on having to be here for this deadline. But I was like, but does it matter? If I do it 1 day late, 2 days late, does it really matter? So like there's a really big thing. So think about that, how we're putting a lot of like restrictions on us. Like I have to perform, I have to do this, I have to da 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 da. And what that's really doing is yet another way that we are saying, I don't trust this life. I don't trust the powers that be. I don't trust what's happening to me. I don't trust what I'm manifesting. I don't trust other people to do what I can do or whatever. We all have our whole big trust things, but ultimately it's saying, that we're not trusting life and we're not just going with the flow. So that was the pent up, tied up, almost going crazy energy, anger, pissed off, nothing's going my way, really short fuses, and lashing at people. And basically it was all supposed to be that way. Understand too that we need these kind of drastic measures often to make us move and to make us change and to make us do what we need to do to better our lives or to improve. And as I told you earlier, April brought in the restructuring period. So that's why I said the theme of April is restructuring. And I had the best April of my life, I have to tell you. I just honored it. I just felt everything and for what it was and trusted it, and everything that didn't feel good, I said, oh cool, what is this about? Let me solve this. Let me get to the bottom of this. So the energy right now is going to be bringing friction, and it has been. We're in a big span right now, so I don't just want to talk about like right now today. It's not right now today. Even if I could give this reading the span of, it's farther than that, but let's take it 2 weeks before and 2 weeks after, just to know that like this, there will be other energies that will be coming in, and I will talk about them on, my Facebook page on Aquarius Nation, which I've been talking to you a lot about for the past couple weeks, just helping you, because there's a solid energy that's kind of going around us, that's kind of is what is restructuring our lives, and is what is having us look at our things in the past in a more positive way, in a way that strengthens us and empowers us. So that's going on. But there's other ones that show up, and it's like, all I can say is it's like things, all I can imagine it to be, because I don't really ask, I just feel it. And that's my thing. I don't ask the questions. Isn't that a hoot? But I like to just intuit everything, I'm like, the answer will come to me. So to me, what it feels like, because I'm getting a lot better at understanding the color of the energy and the flavor of the energy and kind of what it's doing. And there's just, they're different frequencies, or they look different. They, some are like, I don't want to go into that, but they just look different. So I'm kind of learning more about them myself. But what I've really figured out is that they are like, whether they're just like, they're sent here, and they each play a role in, well, all kinds of different things, but mostly what they're doing right now, and they come out of left field, and that's kind of the point of them. So they're supposed to come out of left field, but they're coming to like jar us. They're coming to disrupt us. They're coming to piss us off, because the baseline energy is saying, I am a survivor. I will rise above this. I can do anything. I trust this life, and I trust my life path, and I'm not going to start judging where I am in an age in my life as I've already missed all the opportunities. I'm too old. I can't make this happen. I'm too young. I can't make this happen. So really kind of cutting out all the age aspects of how we live our lives, not seeing ourselves so much as an age, not seeing us so much as, well, everybody else. I was talking to someone about this at this grocery store who found me from these videos. So she was like, do I know you? And I'm like, but I was saying how, we don't need to, we really have to cut out the age one, because it does not matter. We all have these different life path plans, and they're all completely unique. Some people, I'll tell you what, the people I know who meet their soulmates when they're like in their 50s, when they're like in their 40s or 50s or 60s, it's the most special thing ever. You can't deny it. You see them and you're like, oh my gosh. And they have something that is so special and so beautiful. And so many people can be in their 20s or 30s and they're sitting there going, oh my God, I haven't met anybody. Something's wrong with me. I'm never going to have love. I'm heartbroken. They just cut off time like that. And they cut off living. And they just say, this is the only thing right here. I'm never going to have again. I'm such a loser. Nobody loves me. I'm not beautiful. I hate my body. I hate my life. And whatever. So there's lots of like cutting yourself down because of right now, because of this view you only have right now, even though you don't know if like 2 months from now you're going to get the job offer that's like the most kick-ass dream you could have imagined, that's going to take you to another town where then you meet like this love of your life. You can't even believe it. And it's so shocking because they're like, 15 years older than you or whatever, or they're the same sex as you and you've never even thought you'd fall in love with anybody who's the same sex as you. Or so I'm getting at that there's surprises with what is to come, and it's best to, always kind of embrace the surprise. That was funny. I had no clue that I was going to say that. That was news for me. But so things just can change quickly, and you don't know when. You don't know if it's one day from now. You don't know if it's 5 years from now. You don't know if it's 10 years from now. But what I can tell you is that when you get to that point, and it is happening, none of the rest even matters, And I was thinking about, because one of the big energies right now is about being someone who walks their talk and like really walking the journey. Like, one of the most amazing things right now is that everybody is so open to doing their inner work and looking within and getting real and making their lives better. That's the base energy I'm telling you about. And that one is infusing us with, wanting to do whatever we can to get so clear and true and love and compassion so that you can get onto this vibration where everything that you dream of manifests. And it's not like the life waves stop. Things happen. Things are always going to happen. People are going to die. Accidents are going to happen. Fights are going to happen. That's life. We need to get over thinking you get over those, because you don't get over those. Surprises still happen. Somebody still calls and tells you something that hurts you and you can't concentrate for days. Life still happens. But we're gaining a way. When you can get to this certain track, everything is the most amazing blissed. It's blissed out. It's not like phony blissed. It's genuine and to the core. It's genuine and to the core because it's not the bliss that is inspired by what has come outside of you. It's the bliss that is inspired by what is just inside of you. You just feel good because you trust life. When you trust life, everything comes together perfectly. So when we're in the old world, which majority of people still are, because it's when you're in the not able to manifest the bliss yet. It's when there's still shit going on inside that's not been fixed, that's not been brought into order, that's not been healed, that's not been looked at, that's not been honored, made peace with, forgiven. So those energies that are coming to the planet, they come in these different forms as this kind of thing to bit by bit awaken everybody, because things need to come in layers. And also we need to have that provocation in a way to make us look. So we need to have a fight with our friend and other people to realize this other thing about ourselves. So we need to have those things of provocation or discord to rock us to our core in order to make us sit there and go, what does this mean to me? Because that base energy is bringing us to this thing now of like, what does that mean to me? Not, we're finally, oh, thank goodness, my gosh, we're finally getting to the point of not judging them, just putting the other person down. And of course, there will be flavors of that because we're hurt. And if we're hurt, we're going to use our judgmentalness to kind of put that person down or put them in their place. It's what we do. It's that thing. But because that core level, that base level is trying to pull us back, it's almost like a marionette doll. And I could see it like that. It's like you're not going to be down for long. There's something that's just kind of pulling you up. There's something that's going to bring you to the high vibrations. Let's get another look at this. Let's stop blaming everybody else, because we know that when we see other people do that, we're totally like, you're not even valid. You are the one with the issues. We see that when we see other people doing it, So like we have to, face that same thing about ourselves, So when we're talking about other people in a not positive, negative way, or in a way that's judging them or putting them down, we have the problem 100% of the time. Because if we don't have a problem that relates to that, we don't even think anything of it. Because, you know, when you've come to the point of compassion, you realize that we all have shit going on. We all have wounds. We all have shadow behaviors that are nasty and ridiculous and hurtful and selfish and egotistical, and everybody does. You know, we eventually learn to like have control of them, but we have to first recognize them, you know, and you have to like kind of make some peace with them. But so when we have these altercations now, because we have this baseline energy that is saying, I want to heal. I want to be the best person I can be. I want to have harmony in my life. I want to have harmony with my relationships. I want to have love in my life. I want to feel good. I don't want to feel fighty and irritated by someone, or triggered by someone, or every time you hear that name, or every time you hear about something going on with them, how you're like, like who wants that energy? So we say, why am I feeling this way? What does this mean about me? What do I need to look at? And the energies of the past couple weeks have been giving us a lot of opportunities to go in there and look at the things, to get to the bottom of things. Everything right now is to get to the bottom of things, getting to the bottom of things. It's this detective work. It's this peeling back of the layers. It's going deeper into the psychological understanding of it. Where did this come from? What brought me to being this way? What brought me to manifesting this situation? You know, why, you know, so it's so beautiful that we're at this point in consciousness in life where we are eager to do our inner work. And that's new. That's new. That is not something that's been going on. We've been having the, you know, for this forever. It's been the, you think if you can hide it, it doesn't matter. You think if nobody can see it, if you do it on the down low, it doesn't matter. You think if you can just not deal with it, it doesn't matter. And now those things, we can feel them in our body. We don't feel content. We're not in that bliss state of being able to manifest everything to the point where you just go day by day by day by day by day feeling good. And like life is good because you trust it. You're not fighting it anymore. You're not complaining about the time thing, thinking you don't have enough, or you know, whatever with life, that we're always doing that stuff, but you just kind of stop doing that. And then you're like, okay, you know, you get stopped at a red light. You really wanted to get to this other place on time, but you got stopped at a red light. What can I do? You know, get pissed off, act like a raging lunatic, or just like, okay, there's nothing I can do. Let me just like enjoy this ride. Because one thing I always too want to remind everybody is like, go back. All right, so right now you're pissed off, you got stopped by the light, you needed to get to the bank. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. And you're, you know, and then so I want you to think of that. And I want you to think about when you did something like that a year ago, and like think about what it matters now. I mean, even think about that you did something like that a week ago. What does it matter now? It doesn't matter jack squat. It doesn't matter nada, nothing. What? I can't even recall how irritated I was, or I can't even recall, you know, like what that was. So it's really important to, that's what I always tell everybody. Go to like that, you know, go to the future. Go 2 months from now. Is it really going to matter if it's late one day? Or is it really going to matter? Is it really going to matter? Is it really going to matter in a year? No. And we piddle squat on all this junk and like put so much like pissed off energy, and that didn't work out and I wanted it to. Of course they're out of what I want, you know, or of course, yeah, now everybody's getting gas when I've only got, you know, so pissed off about all these control issue things that are, they're nothing. They're just not even a waste of breath. And they're triggering all these other, because then you act nasty, so then you piss somebody else off, and then you're passing a car giving them the finger, so then you've affected them, and then, so it's this contagious thing too. So, but that when you can start, because there's all these things that can start helping you get to the bliss quicker, because I believe it can be just like a leap into the other way of living, in the new earth way, which it's just the vibration. It's just that what you match is what you vibrate is what you manifest. We know this. But a lot of these things, a lot of these spiritual concepts have only been intellectualized, and we go, yeah, I get it. But until you walk it, it's really nothing. And that's kind of the thing about spirituality. Until you walk it, it's really nothing. It's just an intellectualized thing. So it might make you feel good about it because you know all this stuff and da-da-da, but until you walk it, it's just this fluff in your head, and it doesn't change your vibration. Intellectually knowing it will not change your vibration. Living it, walking it, being it will change your vibration. So I believe there is a way to get to the other one quickly, but there's also just like there's things you can do, and that's one of them with the time thing, with being in a car, with getting so irritated about so much, like really watching yourself and realizing how just quick it can rise in you of pissed off, ticked off. And so but that's one of the ways. The more you can just keep yourself calm, because it's the biggest thing, I guess. Kind of the main roots are trusting the powers that be, and that there's order to all of this, and that all of this is happening how it should. Even I say that too, like you bump into someone, you haven't seen this person in 10 years, and you're on vacation in a different place, and they're there, and all those things, like you bump into someone like that, oh my God, like those are always happening to remind you how magical and perfect life is. You turn around this aisle, and this person you haven't seen in 20 years is right there, whatever, happens all the time. I always say write that stuff down. I like to keep that all documented, all the synchronicity, document it, because it's really great to go back and look at it. But so that kind of stuff of why did I bring that up? But like just kind of trust. Oh, that shows you that you can trust life. Those things are showing up to show you that you can trust life. So when you're having a lot of synchronicity, when you're seeing lots of numbers, there are messages in the numbers, and I'm trying to understand it through study. And that's where I know 444 is you're learning a lesson. I know that one's you're learning a lesson. You're learning a lesson here right now. But they come through with messages that are actually really simple, and they're more as things to not just confirm that angels are here and you're being protected, but there's things here to think about, to realign you to reposition you to, like they're like activations kind of things, but for the purpose of reminding you that everything is magic and happening just how it should. So that synchronicity is always going to be trying to remind you to be here now. Remember that you're safe, and not just remember that you're safe right this moment, but to carry that through your days, to carry that through your interactions, to carry that through your weeks, your months, your years, so that everything is just kind of like okay, because you trust life. Like when you trust life, everything is okay. And like I said, it's not like these things that are considered bad because they're scary and you're like, oh my God. It's not like those are something just flashed on my screen, and now that distracted me. I was like, don't turn off. Power don't go off. So, what was I going to say? So, synchronicity and, I think I might lose one because I don't even feel like going back. Okay, yeah, so everything is kind of like, those kind of things are happening to, trusting life, and if you can remember that, think about that too. Like every time you see whatever the numbers are, whatever, just that it's happening. Just that those 555 just showed up. Just that you saw 555, and then there's a card that's 777. There's 999. Oh my gosh, this is magic. Yeah, that happened for you on purpose. And that was just to show you, you can trust life. You can trust life. If this can happen, you can trust life, because you get so excited. You do trust life when you see that. You feel empowered. You're, oh my God, I just saw triple numbers. Oh my God, I just saw 1111. It does it right? Doesn't it it excites you? You just don't go, oh, 555. I mean, I guess some people may, but not us. We love the numbers, right? So just realize all those things are trying to get you to that trusting life, because that's the path that you are on. Because once you get into trusting life, that's when you say those things of like, I want to know myself better. I want to be the best person I can be. I want to learn from this altercations, and I want to learn from this friction, and I want to be the best person, and I want to be happy, and I want to treat people good, and I want to feel good about how I talk to people, and I want to feel good about how I treat people, and I want to have a sacred, awesome life of joy, So by saying those things, you say, I do want to look closely. I do want to be humble. I do want to be honest. I want to stop blaming others. I want to stop putting this all on other people. I want to stop talking any negatively about others, because that one has to go to 0%. That one is such a bad karmic manifester, and it's really hard for us to remember that. Because sometimes it almost like feels good to do it, like you have to release it. You know what? Shit, da 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 da. Like, did you know? So there's that release of it that we're addicted to or something. But that's why I always think it's like best to like not talk to anybody. Like I'm the type, if I have a friction or confrontation with someone, I like pull back. Like it's just now I know to be like, okay, this is something with me. I am in this too, and I'm annoyed and pissed off too, so this is something about me. If I wasn't pissed off, I wouldn't think it was anything about me at all. I'd be like, it's all you, 'cause I'm not pissed off, I'm not triggered, I'm not thinking about you and milling over it. But when you are, when you are though, you have a problem. You're a part of it. You have something to learn in it. So that's the energy that's going on right now, is that we are getting more open to wanting to learn about our stuff, because we're ready to like be these people who are the wise old soul teachers of this stuff. Like we've walked our talk, and like we can look at the restrictions and the things that have held us back and the things that have harmed us and made us feel like shortchanged in life and like we're losers and we'll never be good enough. And we can look at all that lack that we had, but we're starting to now see it in more of a positive light of like, wow, had I not had that, I wouldn't be able to be living this life I'm living. And that's what I was going to say, is that I was out hiking and that came to me, and I was like, I am the perfect person to be doing this kind of sharing for you, because not only do I channel it and most of the things that I say, but I walked it. Like I walked all this stuff. Like there's going to be a book about it, and I knew it when it was going on. And it all revolves around a lot of those things that I've told you here, but you guys don't know the whole story. But I was living in San Francisco. And I can't remember if it's 98 or 99, and I'll always say that now because I forgot that for some reason. But I had a vision my father was going to die, and I didn't know him because of divorce, and he lived this other kind of wild, running a bar, like, 70s, he lived life fully, wildly, with friends and enjoying life to the max, put it that way. And so I didn't get to know him, and I didn't really know my dad. For the longest time I called him Jim. My stepmom was like, he wants you to call him Dad. And I'm like, I don't even know what Dad is. What's Dad? It was so... Dad. It was just not even a normal sound coming out of me. So anyway, I had a vision he was going to die, and I went back to get to know him, and before I left, I was living in San Francisco, and I was so happy. I was in the bliss. I was where I'm at now back then, and it was where you're just like, everything's okay, and you can't stop smiling, or everything's just smiling. Your face is just up. It's not just down and miserable and nasty, or I don't mean nasty, but We see that as nasty, but I don't mean nasty. It's just that down is, but up is like, yay, hi, yeah. I mean, it's just, it feels good. It's energetic. Who even, I guess, really cares what anybody else thinks of it? It feels good. Like, do your face as a smile and feel, and do your face as a frown and feel. They feel different. One is very vibrant, and one is very, like, disconnected and dead. So, that's one where I'm like, no! I lingered too far off the track. Shoot, why did I say that about faces? And, oh gosh, I've stopped doing that. Let's see, faces and smiling. Oh, so I was back in San Francisco and so happy. I mean, I was like, oh, I just kind of had a spiritual awakening within a couple years before that. So I finally opened to that. And this will all be in the book, so you'll get to read it later. It's going to be very fascinating. But anyway, so I went back there, and at first it was just so great getting to know my dad, and we would just always go, should I even share that story? No, you'll read it in the book. But awesome times, incredible times. And then things went so bad. They went so bad, so bad, so bad, and like over and over and over and over, I wanted to kill myself. Like, it was hard to stay alive because it was so hard. It was like, are you kidding me? Things that you had to, I was having to face these things that were just like too much for even one person to face, and over and over and over. And I had left heaven on the vision that my father was going to die. So I was only back there because I trusted this vision. I mean, when I got that vision, it was actually the same day my dad sent me my very first letter. So I had the vision he was going to die, and I knew I had to get back to get to know him because I just opened to spirituality, and I knew I needed to know my dad. So I knew I had to go back when I came. And then that same day, like 3 hours later, I went down to the mailbox, and it was my first letter from my dad. One of the lines he said too was, remember, least resistance. That was his advice for me. Remember, least resistance, which is perfect because I got that one. That's like no control, trusting this. And but so anyway, so because I had like, it was horrible, and you'll get to read all about it because it's going to be a tell-all too, because he always had a lot of stories he wanted to tell, and now I can, through him, for him. And so it's going to be good. But I was smashed down to the ground, and in the most horrible ways, and like it lasted for, like I said, it started to teeter off after about a decade. Okay, so like I was living the life, living the bliss, and then I trusted this vision that spirit was guiding me to do, that I was being guided to go back. And then I didn't trust, spirit for all those years. I gave up because I was like, you brought me back here for that? You brought me back here to have this kind of stuff that's going to screw me up for life? Why? And so I know that you guys can even relate to that because we tend to say that because we don't understand why these things are happening to us. So that's why I say, one, you'll get to read all about it in this amazing book. It's going to be huge because even back then I said that. I was like, I know I'm writing a book about this. That's the only way that any of this can make sense. I must be writing a book about this because, my gosh. So it was like that hard. But that's why I'm the perfect guide for you guys because I walked it. I walked every step of it. I didn't learn it in a book. I'm not just telling you anything that I've heard or picked up or grasped intellectually, I walked it. So that's what I was thinking the other day. I was like, I'm the perfect guide for this work. And that's what's something too, people keep telling me that. I hear it a lot. They go, this is your work. This is what you're supposed to be doing. And I'm like, I know. So, and you all know too that I tried to manifest this back in 1999 and 2000 when I wrote the birth chart book information, and 700 pages of it over a couple years. That was how I first dealt with how hard it was, the nasty things that were happening that I was having to deal with, where you're losing your mind. And the only way I could get through it was my Saturn return too, was to channel through this astrology information that I didn't even know. And I knew that I wanted to bring through this stuff and put them in books. Although back then I made these fabric envelopes, and they tucked in. But then now they stayed bent. It wasn't a good idea, but they were pretty. And I've changed them a lot over the years. But I knew when I was going through that hard time, I was like, I want to bring through astrology so that it helps people get through life like this. So even that, when I channeled it through, I didn't say, what does this mean? I said, what do people need to know because they have this aspect? What do people need to know because they have Jupiter and Neptune together? What do they need to know? And that's why I think they are really unique. And the people who've had the opportunity to have one are they're touched by them because they're different, because it is astrology. I'm sharing all this stuff about the planets, but there's a baseline of all the information that's about support and nurturing and empowering the crap out of you, because you can't not read it and feel really amazing about you, because there are not negatives and positives like we've been led to believe. And that's what this baseline energy that I'm talking about is trying to tell you. There's reasons for everything. Everything leads up to different things. This had to happen to create this other thing. That's why what you learn, tend to go through, is what you later become a teacher of for others, and what you later share in the world. So it always ties in, and we're in such an amazing time right now in history where we're being aligned and activated and imprinted with this rising above our stuff, but at the same time, very much being open to look at our shadow material, very much being open to look at what we don't like about ourselves that we're just repeating and, or hiding and accepting like we can't change it, because we can change it. We can change anything. If you want to change your body shape, you can change it. You can change everything. If you want to change your health, you can change it. If you want to change your job situation, you can change it, And right now, one of the things that's going on with the collapse in the fall, like I told you, my guides told me we're officially in the fall. This is it now. And this is part of that restructuring. But one of the greatest things that is coming out of this whole time of, everyone's like, there aren't jobs, there aren't jobs, there aren't jobs. And I'm like, yes, there are. There's job for you to create. Just like how everybody got business degrees 15, 20 years ago. Now everybody gets art degrees, fashion design, creative. That shift just was a little signpost to let you know that, and in the near future, most people are going to be doing their own jobs. They're going to be living their own dreams. And the thing is it does keep the money circulating. There is, if you really commit to what you're good at, like if you really follow what you're good at and believe in yourself, you will excel. You will get business. You will get what you want. And definitely if you've worked on your shadow work so that you really are like in that bliss part, you're going to live what you want. It's going to come together. So, but you have to follow that thing that's yours. You don't want to spread yourself too thin. You might spread yourself too thin at times, but it really is about narrowing it down. What is that really right thing that you're really good at and that you really love to do? And you could even be someone that supports artists, someone that helps artists to live their dreams. There's all kinds of roles in how this is coming about. But we're moving into more of an artist world. I mean, that's gardening too. It's artist. It's everything that's like that creative stuff that we use our hands to do, and or other things, but where it's us and it's something that we love to do and it comes naturally to us, and it's not sitting at some desk working for somebody else, hating your life, being so bitchy because you hate your life. And you can change it, and you absolutely can change it. And there's a lot of obstacles that I always say that too. I always love to see these like kids who are like they came from, their parents were selling them sexually or something, and they finally get out of the house, and then they're doing heroin and selling their body and living on the street. And then At some point, like, someone just sees something in them and gives them the opportunity, and then they're, years down the road and they're getting their PhD, and then they're doing all these big amazing things, because you can't even fool me with this one. We are not given unequal lives, and we can judge things as, oh, that person's so much more lucky because they were born with all this money and everything they want just falls into their laps. And we can think that that's the ideal, but that's not the ideal. That's not the ideal in the terms of happiness, in the terms of true satisfaction to, like, in the core of who you are, like contentment. That contentment comes from rising out of the darkness and from rising out of those situations where you want to give up, you want to die, you think, why me? Why me? Why did I have to have this happen to me? All those things, when you can just go into them and be with them and make peace with them and rise above them. It's a journey. That's not like day one you do all that, we all know that, but the story summed up into a bit, and then rise out of it, and then boom, you're a teacher of it. You walked it. You're empowered from it. You don't look at that as a negative, like it held you back. You're past it in time. You're years past it. The emotional thing, you've released it through healing, through accepting whatever, and then you're just this different person. You don't think about it. It's not. So that's what is happening now. That's the astrology and energy now. There's so many other forces going on with it too. It's really beautiful, but come from the space of self-love. Self-love, nurturing, valuing yourself, even if you feel like nobody else has loved you and nobody else has given you that stuff to make you feel special and supported and whatever. Make that intention now to, like, start finding how to love yourself, how to love your body, how to love what you've done, how to love how you treat people, and all that stuff is going to come from humbling yourself, never beat yourself up with mean thoughts. That's not even allowed. That's another thing with the time thing of I don't care if you're 45 and you don't have a job and you don't know what you're going to do and you're not in a partnership and whatever. I don't care if you're 65 and it's the same situation. You have no idea what is on the way. You have no idea what is on the way. But if you can trust life, something good's going to be on the way. And if you're going to fight life, something crappy is going to be on the way, and it's going to keep coming till you deal with that shadow piece inside of you that's manifesting it, because you are manifesting it. So we have to humble up. And then when you do, you're like, oh my God, why didn't I humble up sooner? You're totally like, I can't believe I wasted all that time. Oh my gosh. And then you want to show other people how to do it. It's just easy. It's fun to be honest. It's fun to just be, it's not fun for everybody. It's fun for me though, because I've always loved to be vulnerable. I love to just, like, share emotional things that should be hidden in most people's eyes. And I'm like, you know what I did? That's what's going on right now. And I kind of want to keep this one smaller because, they're always so long. And I feel like some people just look at that automatically and don't watch it because, oh, that's like a movie. I don't watch a movie. And I also want to do just more bite-sized pieces. And because I'm restructuring my whole life, it's so cool. I can see I pulled back so much. I wasn't even in contact with anybody. I didn't even, like, talk to anybody on the phone. I was just like, I need to be with me. I need to take care of me. I need to see my life. I need to see my career. I want to see what I want to change. I want to see what I'm really good at and I should push more. I want to see what I need to let go of. And so that's where we still need to be in that space of me, in the form of nurturing care, not selfish, but nurturing care, taking care of me, loving me, honoring me, not saying bad things about me. You're really the only person you have to go out and manifest things in your life. Nobody can manifest them for you. They can give them to you, and then you don't really have the accomplishment of you manifesting things on your own, but they can't give you everything. You know, you have to manifest it yourself. So you have to get your energy at that placement, vibration, because it's in the heart, it's in the body, it's not in the head, it's not in the intellectualized stuff. So I think that sounded good. I enjoyed that one. I think I'm even going to stop there, because I can of course go on for another 30 minutes like I always do. And I'm working on the horoscopes right now. I couldn't write today. I wanted to write, and then I just couldn't do anything. I couldn't like even sit still. So I didn't end up getting that. And it's a miracle that I'm even doing this, because I was like, I didn't think I felt well enough to do it. And now it's fun. And I'm like, oh, yay. So I'm trying, too, to make more time in my life to share these more. But also, too, if you aren't, if you're on Facebook, I would love if you would like my page, because over there, and on my website, too, but I like to just kind of every so often talk about the energy when something has just shown up, because they'll come. There's things change day to day, and it's sometimes it's something that you can't even really predict. It's, you know, that you're gonna, if you check out my page, you'll see. I never know what I'm talking about. Like, I can't remember one thing I even wrote. So for me to go back and, what did I write this past week? I don't remember. I know there was things about love, but otherwise I can't remember. So I'm going to have the written horoscopes done too. I was hoping for today. It'll probably be tomorrow. But I'll have them when I have them. But those will be good, because there's so much going on with the chart right now. I'm like, okay, there's a kite. And then there's the Venus and Uranus conjunction, which that's my favorite, because my Venus is in Aquarius and it's trining my Uranus in Libra. So it's in mutual. And then my Venus is in the first house. So I'm really big about that aspect. So that's going on right now is way cool. And that's another one. It's opening you to the synchronicity. It's opening to things coming quickly. It's opening things to being not what you expect, though. You know, really being open to, we don't know, you know, we can't really predict what we think it's going to look like, and it's kind of best. I mean, there's the element of dreaming of what we want, but there's also the being open to however it comes, knowing that I want a love relationship that's like this, you know, but being open to what kind of package it arrives in is a really sweet way to hold the energy, especially with Venus and Uranus. So that's great, but I'll talk a little more about those and the planets in the written one. I kind of like this one more to be more like just energy, and whatever wants to come out is channeled. And then I'll go in more to the planetary stuff in the written. Okay, cool. Yay! I'm so happy. We did it. So you all have a beautiful full moon. And I think you grasped what I've been trying to tell you. And yeah, I almost fooled myself there, because I was going to go and like reiterate. And I already was like, wait, that's 30 minutes if you reiterate. No, you got it. If you want it reiterated, go back and watch it again. Otherwise, I will see you maybe in a week, maybe in 2 weeks, maybe in 3, maybe 4. Intention is 2, but it could be 1, or it could be 4. So, okay, you have a beautiful full moon. Thank you for watching, and I'm grateful for you. I'm so thankful to be reaching you people. I even ran into someone. Did I say that I ran into someone at the grocery store today, at Whole Foods today, who has first seen me here and who stopped me? So I'm so very grateful for meeting and reaching out to you guys who are so awesome. See, Aquarius Nation is about the people who are the ahead of the times and who are bringing in the age of Aquarius. So, you know, the energy I've put out to attract you is very unique. It's very Venus and Uranus. It's exactly that aspect. I put that out there to find you guys that are different, that are not like the rest of them out there. I have a huge fondness for that kind of thing. And so I'm very grateful for having this opportunity to reach you and to share information that's to help ground you and bring you over to this bliss space where we're able to manifest, truly manifest a life where day after day after day after day after day, it's all good. It's all good. How you doing? Good. It's life. It's beautiful, you know. So there's a way to get there. So I'm honored to be here sharing that with you, and I'm honored that you see me and know that that I'm here to do this for you. And yeah. Okay. So, all right. You have a beautiful one.